Greetings everyone. Today we're going to be looking at some of our mannequins here at the new UCSB EMT program. Myself, Justin Martin, and Mr. Jim Emerson, our program director. So please hang out and we'll try and familiarize ourselves with this stuff. So there are 3 cabinets in our EMT room, and there's a little bit of supplies up on the top that I'm working on right now. On the far right side, we've got basic medical supplies. Up top right, you can see some gloves. Below that, some more. Bandages, suction stuff, blankets. We have 2 each of the Sager, the Hare, and the KED. And then we have some BVMs for various sizes, adult, pediatric, and infant. And then dressings, burn sheets, all kinds of stuff. Everything's going to be labeled, and it'll be easy to find what's what and where it is. In this middle cabinet, you gotta believe, Jim. Oh, you know what? It might have locked. It did lock, huh? Just lift it a little bit. That's the one with the code. So this one is going to store our pediatric as well as our infant mannequins, which are electronic. And if you come up here to the very top, you're going to see that each, the pediatric and the infant, will have their own box. I'll give this off to Jim. And then I'm going to grab our pediatric mannequin, which is right here. They're a little bit heavy and they're a tight fit, so just please be careful with them as you pull them out. Inside the box, Jim's got right here, he's got a tablet, which is specially labeled for this pediatric mannequin. And if you flip that open, Jim, it should say pediatric right on the top. Perfect. Inside here, we have chargers for the mannequin. We have a Bluetooth link, a blood pressure cuff that's specially for him, and then a charger for the tablet. And then I'm going to open up the mannequin over here, and then I will show you guys that. These mannequins do come in their own case. And as you see, he'll be sitting just like this. I was just charging this one a minute ago, but the charging port for this guy is on his left side. And you can see right here is his charging port, and this is going to be his Bluetooth port. If we come back over to the Bluetooth link, these are specific to the mannequins. So they have a pediatric one, an infant one, and an adult one. If you want to open that up for us, Jim. These Bluetooth modules use an Ethernet connector on the backside, which can be a little bit frail. So I want to make sure that anyone who plugs in this Bluetooth Ethernet cable is conscious of what they're up to, because if it gets twisted or bent or anything like that, these will break, and they're rather expensive. It only goes in one way. If you look at the plug, you'll see the Ethernet plug's on the top. So he just drops in and clicks into place. Getting him out is difficult for me as I have bigger fingers. Jim, will you hold this phone for a second? So what I have to do to be careful is I'm going to use a key to press down the Ethernet and then pull it back out. When you plug these in, they should light up as long as the mannequin has power. And you'll see some blinking lights right in here as it plugs in and turns on. While we're turning on our Samsung tablet, we're going to wait for this to load, and then once it's all connected to the load screen, we're going to plug in our OmniLink into the mannequin in the side port. So this guy's all loaded up.
Hey Jane,
And just press home down here, and you're going to see his baseline vital signs. See how it says reconnecting up top? We're going to take our OmniLink, we're going to plug it in the side. And then we're going to make sure that we have lights going on, and we do. We'll head back to our tablet. And it shows connected to the code blue mannequin. See the green at the top. Okay, our mannequin needed a charge, so we plugged him in on this side right over here. And when we look at the battery pack connected to the wall, there's a red light on it. So this guy needed a charge. We're plugged in, we're connected to the Mannequin on the tablet, and you can tell that we have pretty good signal right up here. We have almost full bars on the green. So currently he's at his baseline vitals. We're going to load up a scenario and see if it works. So pressing scenario, we have these pre-filled ones, asthma, bradycardia, etc. We're going to look at asthma scenario. So as I click it, see the top right, and I'm going to press load. Once this scenario starts, the Mannequin should start changing, and it happened immediately. He's got cyanosis around his face. You guys can see those lights right there. And if you listen to him, he has his asthma lung sounds. You can auscultate this guy, and we can go through our scenario as they start providing interventions. Life-threatening event, oxygen. So we can start tapping these things. So we changed his position, and we gave him O2, and then we're going to press right here. So as we start doing those interventions, we can start changing his vital signs, making him better or worse. Slight O2 improvement after 30 seconds. Transport to hospital. We can give him nebulized treatment. And as we do that, we can press end and set him up into a different scenario. If we wanted to change the scenario, if we chose the wrong one, we'd go right up here to pause, or excuse me, the plus button right up here, and then go into the file folder, and then we can load a different one. So we could do a pulseless VTAC AED, load scenario, press start, and it's going to switch him over. All of these Mannequins are going to have their own tablet, like we said, their own Bluetooth module, and their own charger. The charger for the adult and the pediatric look to be the same, and the charger for the infant is very proprietary. It uses this old school 3-prong plug. Making sure that we have everything correctly pulled out with the particular Mannequin, it's all labeled for them, and keeping those supplies together. And then when we put them away is also huge, because losing one of these tablets is going to cost us a lot of money. Losing, any of these things that have already had a significant money put forward is going to be problematic. So doing a really good job bringing them out safely, using them safely, not making not letting any damage happen to these guys is going to be huge. The adult Mannequin is the most versatile. He has pulse pressures in his arms, and he's not going to require anything special. The neonate Mannequin, or excuse me, the infant Mannequin, has the least amount of services, but it still has some of these basic ones. And then the pediatric one that we've been playing with has kind of an in-between the two. So the adult is very, very cool. We'll do training specifically on him because we're going to be using him a lot. But the same things that we do with the pediatric Mannequin, like we just saw, is making sure we have a good connection, making sure the Mannequin's powered, and then if we have any technical difficulties with the Bluetooth, we can work through those by just kind of cycling power on and off. That seemed to work pretty well for me. They're a very cool set of Mannequins. They give us a lot of data, and we just need to be comfortable using them. So we've got manuals, etc., and then I want to be a subject matter expert on these guys prior to class starting. The adult Mannequin lives right next door to the classroom. He's on a gurney, and he just rolls around. Currently, he's fully charged. You can check that by just seeing the green power indicator on his plug, and he plugs in right over here on his side. Just below that is his Bluetooth module, which is, again, a troublesome position, because if he is putting pressure on this Bluetooth module, I just don't want it to break. He has pulses in his arms, So as you feel his radial pulse, he'll have one. He has a brachial pulse, and you can check blood pressures on this side and adjust them live. With the pediatric mannequin, we have to pump pressure into him, and the same with the infant. So those are not as easy to work with as the adult mannequin. He's definitely the most advanced. On the inside of his chest, he's got all of his various things. His lungs actually inflate, so he has a built-in pump inside here, so his lungs will rise and fall as you set them, and he has got a much louder speaker than the pediatric. You can also shock this mannequin, oddly enough, if you wanted to, but remember that if we use AED pads on him, he will get sticky. We only have the AED trainers, so we're not super worried about shocking this guy. It's more of going through the motions with him. That's pretty much most of the stuff on this mannequin. I'm going to show you guys the infant. So I have the infant mannequin plugged in right now. He's charging up. And if we check his battery power, charging in the yellow, so he's kind of in the mid-range. Tablet right over there, labeled infant, and that's all fully charged right now. Same thing with this guy is we're just going to plug in his specific module. So his OmniLink, which is the Bluetooth that connects him to the tablet, and we'll use him for whatever scenarios we want to use him for. All of these mannequins have different features, and we were just going to kind of play around with them to see what is going to be the best use for each of them for specific scenarios. But straightforward, once again, every infant has its own tablet, every mannequin has its own tablet, and every mannequin has its own Bluetooth module. And if you have trouble getting that Bluetooth module out of the mannequin, just be extra careful with it because of those Ethernet cables.